Hey guys, welcome back to Not Timmy 66. Let's show the weather. And I'm freezing, man. Look at this, guys. It is 40 freaking 7 degrees. I'm in Texas, man. It's cold. But that's not what we came here to talk about. I want to talk about a comment that I received. And I got some questions for you guys. So obviously, guys, the point of this channel is to follow along with my experiences and my adventures in life, right? And one of the adventures that I'm just about to begin is to be becoming a mail handler assistant with the post office. And I got a comment, and I'm not going to name the person because I don't want to embarrass anybody or, cause any problems or anything like that. And if you want to be named, let me know, and I definitely will shout you out. But a comment from somebody and then a response from somebody that actually works as a mail handler, and it got the old juices flowing as far as questions in my mind as to, what exactly does a mail handler do? What's their position? And I looked it up, kind of guess in lieu of actually doing the job myself and being able to give you guys a first-hand account. I'm just curious, and this is kind of geared also, my channel's not only about just following my adventure, but it's trying to give you guys the best information possible as far as to what you're going to be getting into if you're looking at these types of positions, right? And this person commented and said that they had been offered a mail handler assistant position and they turned it down. And they turned it down for a couple reasons. One was that they didn't feel that they might be physically fit at their age enough to actually handle the job. That was one point. Number two was that comes to mind more than anything else. And you guys can go read it in the comments. It should still be up unless the viewer decides to take it down. The other thing was that the mandatory overtime, the 12-hour work shifts and stuff like that. And he said that he hoped he didn't make the wrong decision and that he'd be following along with the channel to go ahead and, see how things go, basically. And I told him that's a smart thing to do, especially if you're not sure if you're physically fit enough to handle the position. Well, there's a response that came back from someone, and I appreciate the response, that came back and said, basically the job itself is not that hard. Just basically make sure you're working. You don't have to overextend yourself, and that, and correct me if I'm not interpreting the comment or the answer properly, but they also said, basically that, that there's people that actually have disabilities that are working in that position. So it really got me to thinking, and I asked a few questions back, and I thought I'd ask them on video, see how many responses I can get, and kind of clue you guys in a little bit on what I found. You go online and you look up mail handler assistant. I just did a Google search on what does a mail handler do? What is the position? And it says, and I'm just going to read it to you guys. This is a mail handler assistant are physical laborers, and the physical labor part is bolded, who sort and move mail by hand and with assistance of machinery. They move physical correspondence and packages in and through the postal and corporate warehouses and mail systems. They may operate forklifts, canceling machines, and other mail processing machinery. You get the general gist of what the physical part of the job is. You're loading and unloading mail. You're running machinery. You may be operating forklift and doing other tasks that are required of you. And most of the time they say that being a mail handler assistant does require quite a bit of stamina, okay? Because you're constantly moving, you're on your feet constantly, and it's 12-hour shifts. So based upon your level of, stamina or your level of fitness, it may be something that you want to consider if you know that being on your feet that long may not work for you, right? But it's a physical job. I don't seem to get the impression that it's really like, lifting 80 pounds for 12 hours straight or anything like that. I don't get that impression. I get the impression that you're constantly moving, that you're constantly busy, and that there's a demand to keep up a certain pace, right? So and that it's very repetitive. Um, it's something that is not, I guess, so hard learned to do the actual job functions that you're supposed to do as to maintain that level of, I guess, productivity that's required of you for that length and period of time. I will say that I know for a fact, just from my limited exposure to the post office as a CCA and stuff like that, that the post office isn't really ever, that I ever saw anyway so far, gives you any kind of props for good work done. You just get more work. So one part of the comment and the response to that was duly noted by me was that, hey, you know what, don't try to be an overachiever. Just let the supervisor know that you're doing, the job, that they just want to see that you're working and that you're being productive. And I think that makes good sense, because if you're looking for a whole bunch of accolades and stuff like that, as far as great job, Timmy, you did a good job on this one, I don't think with the post office you're going to get it. Just a little hint. But as you go and you look at these and you look at what does a mail handler do and stuff like that, or is the job a hard job to do? Most people say it's a physical job, that it's something that you got to be on your feet and it's long hours, like I previously mentioned, and I'm trying my hardest, guys, not to be repetitive all the time and repeat the same points over and over again. So I covered that. But then it always slides into management. Management. Don't we all love management so much? Unless we're a manager, right? But I could not read a comment about what do you think about the post office without hearing generally negative comments about the management. The management doesn't care about you. The management has no idea what they're doing. The management doesn't know how to talk to people. The management just gives me more work. The management isn't flexible. Your supervisor can never be found. They don't tell you anything because they don't know the job itself. And guys, I gotta tell you something. It was like an overwhelming, if there was one negative that I read, and I read several different reviews on it, and what actual postal employees think, and 9 times out of 10 it was the management that always got downgraded. Very rarely would you see a comment where they were going, yeah, that management, they're all right, they're pretty supportive. You don't get that. And that's kind of telling, at least going into it. Now, does that change my mind? Am I going to go, oh no, the management might be mean, so I'm not going to work? No, not at all. But is it good to know going in? Yeah, it's good to know what to expect and to kind of be mentally prepared for that sort of thing. So what is it with the management? That's my question. Why does the management suck so bad, if they do suck at all? Now, that you may work at the post office and have some of the best supervisors and managers that you ever known or seen or ever worked with. You may be a supervisor or a manager yourself at the post office. But why is the overwhelming majority of reviews bad about the management? I have some theories. Now, I want to be really careful in how I process this to you guys and let you know what I think, because it's not that I'm afraid of offending anybody. I'm always speak my mind and say what I want to say. It's my channel, right? I can do that. But I want to try to be as fair as possible. And I think that in certain working situations, in certain environments, there's kind of an us or them mentality. And I think that from my experience so far with the post office, it's been a very much an us or them mentality, that management is not on my team. We are the workers, and then you got the managers. So you got 2 separate factions, right? And this faction is telling this faction what to do, right? And I think that breeds mistrust sometimes. I also think that it can breed a sense of animosity towards managers. You may be looking at them thinking that there's nothing that they do that's that hard compared to what you do. And some of that may be very well be be true, but we don't know. I mean, I always try to look at everything, and I don't know what the managers do. Maybe they have a lot more to answer for than what we know, right? So I don't know, but I think there's that factor. And I think maybe union as opposed to like management, which is non union, breeds some of that mistrust as well. Now, I'm not saying anything bad against union workers, and I'm also not really saying anything bad against management, but I think it's kind of a, you just get the sense, or at least I did, even in the small office that I was in as a CCA, you get the note, you get the real strong feeling that that's the management and we are the workers type mentality, right? And I'm not saying that unions breed that. I think it's just about in any kind of job that you go to where you got your supervisors and then you got the workers, right? You got your, depending on your perspective, you got your peons and your kings or whatever, right? But I think that the fact that it's a union shop and that they're union employees that have the union benefits, and don't get me wrong, it's a good thing. I think that breeds a little bit more of that. Now, that being said, the management may very well stink. It may be horrible. It may be people that don't know what they're doing. It may be people that are just looking at you like a number, that are looking at you like they don't care. And maybe that's all that maybe that's what they're told. That's all their job is to do, is to just care about those numbers, get that mail out, hit that deadline. You know, the post office is all about a 24-hour clock and making sure that everything is done in as timely manner and as efficiently as possible. And those managers are brought in to make sure that that is managed properly and that goals are met, or that I'm sure they hear about it, right? And as workers, sometimes we may kind of forget about the fact that they're put under some pressure too. Again, not trying to speak for the managers or the workers one way or the other. It's just my observation as far as what I think might breed a little bit of that. That's one aspect. And also another aspect that I think breeds that, honestly, is laziness. I think honestly that there are some really lazy people out there that do not really want to work. They may be forced to work, and therefore anything that's told of them to do is over and above and the end of the world. And I'm sorry. I've been on this earth long enough and I've worked with enough people to know that there are those type of people out there. And I'm not saying everybody at the post office is that way. Like I said in my previous video, most of the postal employees that I work with really take pride in the work that they do. They're professionals. They, no matter what their job is, whether they're delivering the mail out there or they're handling the mail to make sure it gets delivered, they take their job seriously. And they care about making sure that Granny gets her postcard from the grandson that's in Florida, you know what I mean? Or that letters get processed, or that, you know, important pieces of mail and important packages, the thing you've been expecting, is actually going to get to you on time. And people take that stuff seriously. So it's working in a team environment, I think, but it's kind of like a dysfunctional family type team, if that makes sense. So knowing that we're going into that type of an environment, right? You may say to yourself, but not Timmy, why would you do that to yourself? Why would you put yourself into that position? Why would you want to be in a position where you're going in where everybody says the management sucks, or, you know, the union don't represent you, or, you know, whatever? Why would you even want to do that? It's because I have a mindset that's different. So you might ask, what's the mindset? I keep goals in mind, man. I've always been the kind of worker that has just said to myself, you know what, I'm going to keep my head down and just do the best job I can. Because I can picture that Can-Am Spider sitting in my garage. I can picture the smile on my wife's face when I give her that Christmas gift she wasn't expecting. At night, when I walk around the house and I see my kids sleeping in their warm bed with the power on and the heat going, and knowing that they just had a really good supper or good dinner or good lunch. knowing that they've got everything they need. They've got clean clothes on their back. They've got everything that they need. I keep those goals in mind over and above whatever games may be played at the job that I'm working. And guys, my mindset is I'm not looking for a job that's going to like, and say what you will, I'm not looking for something that's going to like really super mentally challenge me. I've got other things going on that I prefer to use my mental stuff for. I want a job that's going to pay well, that I can go to, I can keep my head down, I can work, and I can do the job. And you know what? You just learn to deal with people, right? People are just people, whether they're managers or whether they're your coworkers, and nothing in life is fair, right? So you're going to run into situations no matter what you do. I don't care if you're flipping burgers. I don't care if you're working for the post office. I don't care if you're a truck driver. I don't care if you're a manager. I don't care if you're a CEO. You're going to run into situations at times that nobody's going to like. But that's just life. And that's just what we have to do to make things happen. So I keep a goal in mind and also a positive mindset, man. Eating right, sleeping, getting them as much rest as I possibly can, trying to stay as physically fit, going for the walks, doing the things I need to do to keep my body as fit as I possibly can. And it helps my mind, it helps my attitude, and staying positive about things in life. I think the last thing that you want to do is get yourself into a situation where you get in what I call the muck. And getting in the muck means getting in with the folks that have the negative attitudes and stuff like that, and start talking and the little beep 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 going on and stuff like that. I don't play that game. I'm not there to make it my end all be all. I'm there to earn a paycheck, right? And that's what I'm there for. I mean, I'm there to earn money so that my family has what they need, and also I get what I need. So I think if you keep that in mind, you'd be all right. At least that's my thought process on it. You guys know I always end my videos with, no matter what you do in life, make it count. And that's a part of it. A part of making it count in life is stopping and being thankful for the things that we have, and really, really appreciating what we can do in this life, all the adventures that we can have, no matter what it is you want to do. Just make it count, right? And part of that is a positive mental attitude. You can go through life, in my opinion, you can go through life that everything's negative, everything sucks, everybody's out to get me, or you can go through life with the attitude that, you know what, I'm just going to do the best I can. I'm going to love hard, I'm going to play hard, I'm going to do the things that I want to do in life. I'm going to kiss my kids, tell them I love them my wife or my husband, and just enjoy life, enjoy and appreciate every moment, and appreciate it at work too. Nobody really wants to work. We all want to win the lottery, right? But chances are we're not all going to get there. So we got to work, and we might as well make the best of it. And part of that is keep the positive mental attitude. Going in, keeping your head down. Don't get caught up in the games. Don't get caught up in all the rumors and innuendos. And I think there's quite a bit of them at work at the USPS. I really do. I believe that, if you want somebody's opinion, you don't even have to ask. You'll just get it. So keep your head down. Be smart. Work smart, not hard. Keep a positive attitude. When things get hard and tough and you just think, maybe I just want to quit, think about the things that you want. Think about the things that you need in life. And think about those that count on you, right? That's all I got for today, man. That's my little expose on the MHA job. I hope everybody found this entertaining or informative. And if I pissed you off, sorry. Thumbs down me, or thumbs up if you liked it. Let's just keep the channel going, keep the conversation going. Feel free to comment on this. Let me know what you guys think, especially you people that already work for, I said you people. Ooh, sorry. That sounded bad, didn't it? Especially you people that work for the post office, right? You people that have the experience, that can kind of give me some background knowledge and stuff like that. And believe me, I will be giving you my opinion on what it's really like, according to Not Timmy 66. So everybody go out there, have a wonderful day. No matter what you do in life, guys, always make it count. Not Timmy 66 on this rainy, rainy day. I'm out.